Welcome to Local Point, your life, your stories, with your host, Chris Piner.
Welcome to Local Point. I'm your host, Chris Piner. This week on the show, we welcome Jeremy Raymond from the Uintah Fire District here into the studio. And Jeremy, you're no stranger to Local Point. We've done this for many years.
Hey, this is great, Chris. I love coming down here.
I love having you come here too, and every time you come, I learn something new.
Me too.
Hopefully, you do too. That's good, very good. Well, naturally, we always like to talk about fire safety, and generally we do this in October during the,
Fire Prevention Week. Yes,
Fire Prevention Week in October. And this year we're catching a little different time of the year, but everything we talk about is relevant.
Any time of the year.
Right,
Any time of the year.
Well, let's jump into that. Is there anything specific to this part of the year that maybe we should be thinking about?
So, you know, February, we're still in the cold season, and we do get a lot of chimney fires. We do get a lot of heater fires. And so, yeah, you know, we always encourage people to make sure you clean out your chimneys. Right now is not a good time because it's icy and snowy on the roof, but in the fall or summertime, just make sure you get up there. You can get go buy a brush at a local hardware store and just push it down in there and clean it all out, get that soot and carbon out of the chimney, and then make sure you clean it out down below out of the chimney, and that'll help prevent chimney fires.
And that should be done every year?
Yes, every year.
Right.
And it really depends on how much you use it. If you only use it very rarely every year, then you may not have to do it, but still get up there with the flashlight, look down in the chimney, make sure it looks clean. If you can't see it or you don't know, just clean it out anyways. And you know, we always tell people to make sure you burn old dry wood. Nothing green. Green will increase that creosote, that carbon buildup inside the chimney.
Okay,
so
that's good to know. Good dry wood.
Pine's
now with technology and brushes, this is something we can do on our own. We don't have to hire the old Cockney chimney sweep anymore. Unfortunately, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah,
there is somebody in the paper though. If you look at in some of the nickel ads, or
it is done then.
Yes, there are people. There are chimney sweepers that can come out and do it for you. You know, if you can't, or you're elderly or something, you need somebody to come do it, and you know.
Or you're just not confident in it. Yeah. There are chimney sweeps.
People that they can.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Come out and help you.
Very good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So just general safety in terms of burning your own wood when you're setting a fire inside your home. Stands to reason that's something you should be extremely careful about.
Yes, you know, a lot of people. I'm not going to say a lot of people. Some people will use diesel fuel or gasoline to help start fires. Absolutely do not use that. Just the vapors alone could ignite and have a large fire come out at you. And so be very careful. Use, you know, get little pieces of wood, chop up little pieces of wood, put it in there, and put a flame to that, and it'll get going.
That seems to my sensibilities an obvious thing, but apparently if you're mentioning it, some people use
we have
accelerants to
be
a lot easier to.
We have had deaths in our area because of that.
Yes. As a general rule, don't ever
use any type of flammable or combustible liquids to start a fire.
That's good. Well, maybe that is a good reminder for our viewers then as well.
Yes, and your wood stove. You know, if you're camping and it's
you
cold,
might be able to get away with it there, but in your
even
home,
then you need to be very careful.
Even then,
just use a lot of little wood kindling firewood and
paper to get it going. Right?
Absolutely.
It's a good skill, and it's rewarding when you can make fire. All right, well that's good. And another thing that I wanted to ask you about, we talked about this some time ago on another show, but that was the ladders and
the escape ladders.
Escape ladders.
Yes. So if you live on a second story or a third story in a home, and you cannot escape through your door, then you need to go out the window. And let's say your kids sleep upstairs or you're upstairs, and you cannot get out the normal means, and you have to go out your window. And instead of dropping 3 stories or 2 stories down, they have a ladder that you can purchase, and it hooks onto the windowsill, and you throw it out over the edge, and then you can climb down safely that way.
Everyone should have one of those, and I wonder how many of our viewers actually do have that kind of thing in place. That's why I love this show. Jeremy always has these great tips for us to keep us safe. I want to talk a little bit more about drills, fire drills at home. You've talked to us about that, and a few other safety things, and maybe some things that you've got coming up from the district.
You think about going to school. We used to practice fire drills in school all the time.
But at home,
where are people dying? In homes, in our residential homes. And how often do people do it in their homes? Not very often. So we encourage people to sit down as a family, gather everybody together, old, young, some of the teenagers might not like it, but get everybody together and talk about it. You should have 2 ways out of every room.
I want to talk more about that in just a moment. Believe it or not, we're out of time. We always do this every single time. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break, and we'll talk more about fire safety. Welcome back to Local Point. Before the break, I was here with, and I still am here with, Jeremy Raymond from the Fire District, and we're talking about fire prevention and general safety in the home. We discussed the fire ladders, which during the break we continued our discussion of that just a little bit, escape ladders that can be purchased right here locally, and you started to talk about conducting fire drills at home with your families.
Again, we do them in schools, but we don't do them at home, and so you need to practice at home at least twice a year is what they tell you. Every room, so not only a bedroom, but every room in the house, there should be at least 2 ways out. And so again, gather your family together, go to each bedroom or each room, find 2 ways out, teach them how to get down low, actually set the smoke alarm off, so find it on the ceiling, push it, have it go off so they know what it sounds like, get down low, crawl, again, out the normal way, which would be the door, and then you can do it again, and they can go out the secondary way, out the window or out the, out that way.
Jeremy, you've been at this for an awful long time. In your opinion, if families all did that, as well as we do in the schools, we're all good at fire drills in school, but at home, if families did that, do you feel like that would have an impact?
That would have a huge impact on lives, saving lives. The two things that I cannot stress enough are smoke alarms, working smoke alarms, and a home fire escape plan.
A plan.
If you do those 2 things, make sure you have a working smoke alarm and you practice your fire drill, the odds of dying in a fire are greatly decreased.
That's worth it right there. The horror of a house fire and being inside is so great for me. I had a wood burning stove in my previous home, and I never used it because I was afraid to even use it, and I was too far the extreme. Obviously, you can use them with proper safety and precaution, but great advice. I love that. I love that.
Yep.
All right. So you're also involved in the county fair. Now that's a little ways away, but that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it's fun every year. So the Uintah County Fair coming up in June. We'll be down in the Western Park in the Conference Center, and we do every night. There's a candy drop that starts it out with the ladder truck. The firemen throw the candy down. And then every night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday, we have the Firefighters Challenge, where we let the kids and parents, adults, whoever, come up and play with the water and squirt some targets and see what it's like to be a fireman. So it's a great activity for the family, and
I think probably one of the most popular things at the county fair. And what a great service, and to connect you and all of your volunteers.
Volunteer firefighters.
Yes.
They are the heart and soul of the basin and the cities here. They are what make the fire district operate and work, and and these volunteers give up so much time to educate and to train and to help the public that it cannot be expressed enough. So.
Well, I love that sentiment. That's very good. I think in some ways that makes a small town area that depends on volunteers maybe even a little stronger in some ways.
It's a great thing. We have over 100 volunteers and 5 fire stations, and you know, you have one that works here in your building, and they're around in the community, and
yes, we do.
They do so much with very little in return. So thank you, all the volunteer firefighters.
Yes, thank you. That is a great thing for you to add in there. All right. Well, anything else that we'd like to add in this time on this trip?
You know, if you have any questions, information, we have a couple other activities coming up throughout the year. The Firefighters Breakfast, some of the other activities that we do. Come by and visit us. Our office is located at the county building, Uintah County building, on the 1st floor. Stop in, see us. We always have gifts, hats, you know, fire information for the families and kids. So come by and see us, and we'll be glad to help you out. Also, we have our website, uintaghfire.com.
Wonderful, uintaghfire.com, and I love that open door. Come down and get some information. And the website is probably full of a lot of the things that we've just discussed.
Yes.
Maybe even suggestions for plans and that kind of thing. All right, I didn't know today that there were still chimney sweeps. So there's one of the many things that I learned. I hope they call you governor, right? Anyway, well, I appreciate you coming back. I expect we'll have many more visits like this in the future. Thank you. And thank you for watching this edition of Local Point. Stay tuned now for this week's community calendar.
Hey there, friends, and welcome once again to this week's Community Calendar, brought to you by our friends at the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce. We're so grateful for them because without them, there wouldn't be a community calendar. So let's say their slogan, shall we? Building commerce one member at a time. Let's get right into this weekend's schedule. Friday, February 10th, high school basketball. It's this time of year and lots of basketball going on. We got some local games. This is going to be Stansbury at Union, girls and boys varsity game. Live coverage from VTV6 starting at 5:10 p.m. You can catch that on Channel 6, on cable, or you can go online anywhere in the world, VTV6channel6.com. Jeez, VTVchannel6.com. If you put VTV6channel6.com, it's probably not going to go anywhere. So take out that first 6, put it in at the end. Also on Friday, Vernal Theater Live presents Little Women. I want you to take a look at this cast here. These guys, okay, so they invited me last night to come see the show. It was only me. I was sitting in the audience all by myself. And I got to tell you, I've avoided Little Women, the show, the book, the musical. This is the musical version. Pretty much all my life, just because, I don't know, I was like, a title like Little Women, this show must be for girls, right? Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a stupid fat idiot because this show it's amazing. It's amazing. I got to tell you, I sat there and I laughed all by myself and I clapped and I cheered all by myself. I may have even come close to shedding a tear or two. And if you know the story, you know why. It's heartbreaking, but it's also wonderful. This story isn't just a story for girls. It's a story for you and for me, because it's about life and about motivation and about love and relationships. So you need to go see this show, because these guys here, oh my gosh, they blew it out of the water, and I was the only one there. So go see them. It starts Friday the 10th and goes the 10th and 11th, and then the next week goes the 13th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, which means that's Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see this show. It is the best show that's been at the Vernal Live Theater so far. All right. Let's move on to Saturday, February 11th. Women's Day Out from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is going to be at Vernal's Western Park. It's a free event packed with vendors, and that includes people selling jewelry and talking about women's health. There's cooking, home decor, children's books, and a lot more going on. Free event. Go out and see it. Also on Saturday, we've got the Rangeley Chamber of Commerce Crab Crack. This is from 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Weiss Center in Rangeley. Costs $65 per person and $375 per table. You can contact the Rangeley Chamber of Commerce for tickets. I'm sure that you're going to be eating crab, if you like that kind of stuff. Now taking a look at next week, February 13th through the 19th, starting on Tuesday. No, wait, first starting on Monday. Don't forget on Monday, there's nothing there, but you know what's there? Little Women. Vernal Theater Live, don't miss it. Tuesday now, February 14th, high school basketball. This is Wasatch at Uintah. Girls and boys varsity games. Go out and support them. And if for some reason you're sick because you got a head cold, because it's that time of year, well, then you can still watch them on VTV6 starting at 5 p.m. on cable channel 6 or VTVchannel6.com. Pull out your laptop. Wednesday, February 15th, more basketball. This is Uintah River versus Cedar Ridge. The live broadcast starts at 4:30 p.m. for the girls' game. Then boys' game starts at 6 p.m. Don't forget you can watch it at VTVchannel6.com. Let's see, what else we got coming up? Thursday, February 16th, the Sports Spin. Watch as we analyze school sports, which there's a lot of going on right now. Mark Mason and John Nerdin, here they are. That's John. That's Mark. That's Mark. That's John. Saturday, February 18th, there's a Valentine's dance. Oh, you know what? Really quick, let me tell you before we get to this one. You can leave this up here. But the day before that, on Friday, the Uintah Rec Center is putting on a Valentine's dance as well, but it's a daddy-daughter dance. And you can take your daughters over to Western Park. It's like $3 a piece. And you get snacks and a dance, and they've got a DJ. I do this every year with my daughters, and they love it. They get all dressed up and cute, and we go on a little date. They get to choose where we eat, and last year it was Taco Bell. Why not? You know, cool. I'm trying to convince them that if they want Taco Bell, that's totally fine, but maybe if they want Swain's instead, we could go there. Maybe this year I'll get what I want. So again, that was Friday. Saturday now is this. This is Crossroads Senior Center in Roosevelt. It's a Valentine's dance, but it's not just seniors. In fact, it's ages 14 and up can attend. It's a real dance. You can go and get your groove on. Starts at 7 p.m. Also on Saturday, there's the Holistic Living Expo. I don't know anything about this, but it's at the Grace Event Center in Roosevelt, and it runs from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm assuming it's holistically stuff, you know, stuff that's good for you. It's like made naturally and that kind of stuff. I'm totally guessing, but I'm probably right? All right. You can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Let's get into our weekend weather. Holy cow, it's warmed up a lot, hasn't it? Weekend lows vary, with Friday being around 32 degrees. Saturday and Sunday are averaging around 20 degrees. We're going to have some rain because it's too warm for the snow. In fact, you may have noticed everything's really wet around because that snow is just melting rather quickly. Next week's weather, we have weeks lows averaging in the upper 20s and lower 30s. And you can see the highs here are in the mid 30s to high 40s. Some more chance of rain coming up next week around Friday. My kids are out in their shorts already. They're like, Dad, put the trampoline back up. And I'm like, I can't even walk out in the yard. It's a swamp out there right now. Those are the events we have for this week's community calendar. If you have an event coming up, let us know. That's 435-781-1902. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Like VTV6 on Facebook. We'll see you next time. And don't forget, go see Little Women. It was so good. It was so good. You guys are awesome. Take it easy.